Does tracking your food help you lose weight?
We know that food tracking gives us important data and accountability. But is there a right way to track? And are there people who shouldn't track?
As a health coach and a wellness coach, we ask the questions so you get the answers. Let's get started as we ask.
Wait, what?
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Kamna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You know what? It's a beautiful sunny summer day and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, that's nice. It's good weather today. It's good.
Right.
I'm excited to talk about this topic because I've been tracking for 600 days.
I'm so proud of that for you. And
Thank you.
In general. That's a lot of days.
Yeah, and it's like I did it while traveling. I did it even when the stuff was happening in life.
Okay, so why do you keep doing it?
Well, now it's become a habit. And now I want to see, I'm very competitive with myself.
Okay, that's...
Like, did I hit my mark?
You're very competitive, period. So I can imagine how it is when it comes to yourself. Okay, go on.
So, well, I mean, we'll get into all of that, but I'm really curious to see where we go with this discussion, you know?
But so you didn't answer. Like, is it just the fact that now you haven't stopped because it's a habit and you don't want to break the habit, or?
Well, it's a habit. I like a streak. I hate breaking a streak.
Okay.
It's really, I don't know. It's something mental for me. Like 600 plus days. I like the data that I collect. I'd like to know, am I hitting my protein? Am I hitting my fiber? That's really important to me. I like to know all of that.
So you still look at all the data?
I do.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I feel like after I hit that streak, I stopped looking, and then I stopped looking, and then I was like, well, then why am I doing this? If I'm not paying attention to the data, why am I doing it? That's what broke my streak, which is probably the wrong attitude to have, because now I can't get back into the habit.
No, this is actually really good because we are both doing it differently. So I'm curious to see where you land and where I am, and what
it'll be interesting.
What the
You know what I'm
truth
not
is.
interested in talking about?
Your call to action?
Yes. We can just glaze right over it. I was
First of all,
supposed to
did you do it?
Well, I did it for like 4 days.
Okay, you were supposed to track.
And only halfway.
Wait, go back to what it was.
I was supposed to track my fiber intake.
Okay.
And I did a little bit. And my fiber, to be honest with you, wasn't as horrible as I thought it was going to be. But my fiber came from carbs more than vegetables and fruit. So, I mean... I knew it wasn't coming from vegetables and fruit. I knew it because I'm not eating that much of those things. But I wasn't anticipating it coming from I wasn't anticipating it being as where it was. So I was pleasantly pleased at how high it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I making sense? So
was that data informative to you?
Yeah. It made me realize I need more vegetables and
which you don't like.
Actively try to do. Yeah, and I realized I do like them. I do like some vegetables.
Okay.
I just hate everything around them.
What does that mean?
Like, I feel like I hate the cutting of them, and then like everything, the prepping of them, the cooking of them, like everything around them. You know?
Yes.
I don't know.
I just have to. I relate completely.
I just have to get more creative, I think, or more prepared, meal prep a little bit better, or something along those lines. I don't know.
Yeah,
I also can't eat them raw. They have to have a vegetable dip with them, so that is a whole...
Yeah.
So, anyway.
No, that makes sense.
Anyway, that's it. How about you?
I am a big fat failure. My call to action was to do a green smoothie 2 times, and I thought 2 times would be very doable.
Okay.
I didn't even do it once, and what happens is, in the morning, I'm like, busy getting stuff done, and then I'm like, I forgot to do the juice. And then I said the next few days I'm like, I should do it in the afternoon because then I'll have time to prep, and then the day's gone. And then I thought, well, I should prep it the night before and then blend it up in the morning.
Right.
And then that never happened. So I think the work involved in making the green juice was so overwhelming that I just didn't do it.
It sounds like it would be overwhelming.
Yeah, I just didn't do it. And I don't know if I should just buy those frozen things where you just blend up and then you can drink it. Yeah. I don't know. I have to really think this because I think it actually could really be really beneficial in terms of nutrients and vitamins and minerals. And we're all deficient. So I think it could definitely help. It's just that work that was involved. Oh my God.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's almost like doing the pre-work is work, but it'll be beneficial in the long run.
And I'm such a creature of habit. So if that is not in my routine, I'm forgetting about it.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Mm-hmm. I totally know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has to be, I go back to the cue. I have to have a cue that makes me do it. And I
Yep.
haven't found one yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to find one, if I'm being honest with you. I don't.
I
I don't
do.
want
I,
to.
I did want to do this. I'm like, oh, I'll feel good and my bowels
Mm-hmm.
will feel good. And I was just like, I thought it would just, I think I've had this image that it's going to be some like magic elixir for me, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to make me all energetic and bubbly, but it's not, that's not what it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
just nutrients.
Yeah,
I got to be more honest with myself.
exactly. Good revelation, though, is that you need to be more honest with yourself about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is it off the table forever?
No,
Or
it's
not
not off the
forever, but you know
table.
what I mean.
It's in the queue of things I want to do, but it's not in the forefront.
Okay. So it's
It's
like,
in
I
the
want
wish
to do
list.
this. It's just not the
Hmm.
right time right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then I forgot
right.
about it. So to be honest.
It's all right. We get it. So, what do you
Well,
love?
so I have a story to go with this. Okay.
Okay.
Probably about 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, I burned my cheek with my
Oh,
curling
yeah,
iron.
yeah. I remember. And you kept very, very, very cleverly putting your hair in front of your face.
I was trying, and it was very painful and very bad. And someone told me if you use lavender oil, it's supposed to heal the burn better, faster. So I didn't have any at home. I looked for it. And I went to this little nutrition shop that's in our area. And I said, I need something for a burn. And he looked at me and he goes, oh my gosh, that looks bad. So I was like, thanks a lot. That makes me feel better. And it's still painful. So he recommended this cream to me. It's called 7.
Okay.
7 cream. It's the number 7. It's also spelled out. And this cream has key botanicals, manuka honey, shea butter, aloe vera, calendula, coconut oil, avocado oil, manuka honey, and manuka oil. No parabens, mineral oil, lanolin, or propylene glycol. So it has nothing bad in it, honestly. He said that his wife had the dermatologist did something on her face that left a mark, and she put this on. I was documenting it. Within 5 days, it did not hurt anymore. It was a little tender because the skin was coming, exposed. I was healed within a week.
Real? So 7 days.
7
Is that why
days.
it's called 7?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Right?
Wow. Yeah. Within a week, I was feeling a lot better. And then I could cover it up with makeup. It's still there a little bit. You can kind of see right here.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad.
Yeah. It was
just looks like an
bad.
age spot now. It was bad.
It
was
really
really
was bad. I couldn't believe, and it's at a very sensitive spot. It's like right under your eye if you're not seeing it. And that's a sensitive spot.
Very much so. So then somebody who saw me the day I burned myself, she said, are you okay? She's the one who told me about the lavender. And I said, I'm using this cream. So she said, which cream? She said, I've heard about this. It's from Europe. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of this cream. But I think if you have like a really bad mosquito bite, or if you have other topical things, you could put it on your skin anywhere.
I wonder if that's the only place you can get it.
No, you could probably get it online, because then I went to go look at what it was.
Yeah.
The first day I put it on like 4 or 5 times. And then the next day I did like 3, and then I did, I was subsequently decreasing. But whenever I felt like my skin was drying out, I would put it on. And I think that helps a lot too, to keep it moisturized so it can keep healing. But I think you can get this on Amazon.
I'm looking right now. Yeah, I don't see it. Well, I'm not on Amazon. But you have to be careful because there's a lot of products called NO number 7. And this is not that. This is separate. This is literally 7, the number 7 in cream.
7 cream, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Robin Logan's 7 cream.
Yeah, I don't think you can get it. Well, I'm sure everything's on Amazon, but interesting. Okay, does it smell?
It has a natural medicinal smell.
Okay, does it tingle?
No, it's very cooling.
I don't see it on Amazon.
You could probably find it at any like nutrition store, vitamin store,
Yeah.
any
Okay.
place like that. I think you could find it there for sure.
Okay. That's
Or
really
if
cool.
you have like an area of your grocery store that has these kind of creams, you know, some grocery stores have more options. You could probably maybe find it there. I'm going to do a little bit more research in terms of where to find it. But
Yeah.
I just thought it's so good. It's so good.
And you probably don't need a lot because you showed it
No,
the tube and it's not that much. It's barely
it doesn't
gone.
even look like I used it.
I know.
I used it like for every day multiple times. I just put a little bit on and it was fine. And I
That's
think
awesome.
it would probably work a little bit on my keloids too, but probably not as well as like bug bites and
Is it an oil or a cream?
it's cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I like it. I think it's a good thing to have in your house, you know,
In
wherever
your
you can
medicine
find it.
cabinet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. For
Good
sure.
to know.
That's what I love.
All right. Well, should we jump in today?
You know, I don't like math, but I really like data. How does that make sense?
No, I think that makes sense. Data is
It does?
data is totally different. I do. I hate math, but I love data.
Yeah, me too.
I like statistics too. Like if you told me like 6 out of 8 people like jelly beans, I'd be like, "Oh my God, really?" And then I like that kind of statistics too.
Yeah. I like trends. I like to see numbers. I like to see beneficial things. I just like it all.
Me too. I like a good graph too that I can understand.
Oh, yeah. Very true. Very true. So I want to dig in a little bit about why you stopped tracking because I wanted to understand it a little bit more. Are you okay to talk about that?
Yeah, I truly don't even. I bet you I could look on my app about when I stopped. I just remember thinking like, I'm not looking at this anymore, so why am I doing it?
Hmm.
And I had a long streak. I mean, it had to be like years.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I was the same way. I tracked on vacation and I did all of that. I don't remember what happened. I don't know how to check my app, but I just don't have any desire to do it right now.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I guess fine. I don't know. Why? Should I feel what do you think I should feel a certain way?
No, I'm just curious.
Okay.
That, you know, you did it for so many years faithfully, and then now you stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you should be doing it, or you shouldn't be doing it, or it's okay, or
I
it's
feel so indifferent about it right now that
okay?
I don't know. I don't. I truly don't. I mean, you could keep asking me questions, but I don't know if I even have an answer as to why I'm not doing it.
Okay.
It's not that I don't have time. I have plenty of time. I do forget, like completely forget, but that goes along with the habit. I'm out of the habit of it. I just don't think. Maybe I feel bad about myself that I'm not eating properly.
Oh.
Maybe if I dug down deep, it's like I'm not eating enough protein. I'm not eating the right amount of everything. Nothing
Yeah.
is right. My
No, that
calories
makes
aren't
sense.
over, so that, if I'm being frank, that pisses me off because it's like, well, why am I not losing weight? I'm under my calories, but I'd speak probably because I'm not eating what I should. You know what I mean? I think if anything, it's just more frustrating.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you to not feel judgment from me, okay? Because there's no
Okay.
judgment.
Okay.
Or do you think you're an honest tracker?
Yeah. No, I do.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think I'm eating enough food of the right food. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Like I feel full. I'm not like hungry. I
Mhm.
just am eating crap.
No, that makes sense.
But it's not even crap. I don't even eat that bad. I don't know how to describe it.
No, I think I understand. So, if in an ideal world, you would be like, I don't eat eggs, but if you had eggs or oatmeal for breakfast with some lovely fruit, and then, you know, and then for lunch, you would have a beautiful salad with some protein. And then for dinner, you would have like a proper plate, divided portion of protein and fiber and vegetables. And that'd be so lovely. But that's not how we eat.
No. It's
This
not
is not how we eat.
Mm-mm.
You're like on the road. You're like, what can I get? I'm gonna eat a protein bar. What I have like 5 minutes. What can I heat up? I have some leftover spaghetti. That's what I'm eating.
Right.
You know, that's the way we eat.
Absolutely. And I also think right now I'm not in a routine, so that makes it even harder to like do. I don't know. I truly don't know. And and honestly, I wish I could tell you that this is making me want to track. It's not. I don't want to.
Okay, I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my clients and I said, I think you should stop tracking because I think it was giving her more anxiety than it was relief or help. So I think, I mean, we can get into the benefits, but I think it's not for everybody. I think.
I think at different stages and times of life, it could be very beneficial. But you're right. I don't think it's for everybody in the moment at that time. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because it might not be beneficial for me today doesn't mean it's not going to be beneficial for me in the future, or it was. I swear by tracking. Like, I swear it helped me maintain and lose and all of that stuff.
Right.
Right now, it's not mentally there for me.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long ago that I was tracking everything. Yeah. It had to be right around when you started, because we were both tracking together.
Right.
So 600 days ago, I was tracking great. I wonder if I could pull the data and see when I stopped and what time, what date it was.
You probably have to relog back into your app.
No, it was in the Lose It app.
I know, but sometimes when you don't use the app, after a while, you have to
Oh, I go in it all the time.
Oh, okay.
I'm always in it, looking at things or looking up things. But I'll have to look. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be part of my call to action. Anyway, so
let's talk about the benefits of tracking before we get into the other stuff. I think it has improved my awareness of what I'm eating and how much calories or fat or sugar it actually has versus what I'm like, oh, it's a little portion. No, that little portion is a lot more than what I think. So
for sure it does that. Are you a specific tracker, or you just like put it in and move on?
What do you mean, like portion-wise?
Okay, like if you go somewhere and you have a bite of something, a taste of this and a that of this, do you track all of that, or do you just...
I think that's where I fall down a little bit. I'm not as specific as I could be. That's and sometimes because I just don't know how to track it. Like if we're eating something out somewhere and I'm like, I had a bite, how do I track that? I don't know. So I'll overestimate something else to sort of make up the calories.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. If I had 4 crackers here and 2 pieces of fruit here, I don't know.
I know.
I don't know how many grams that is.
In those situations, what I do when I track is I just track. I type in cracker and I type a serving, and then I type in grapes and I type a serving, and I just do list everything I had at 1 serving because I don't know.
Right.
But there are some people that's the reason they're not tracking is because they can't find it in the app or they don't know how.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that we have to get rid of that excuse.
Right.
Because you can put anything in there.
Yeah, for sure.
You could put 100 calories per bite if you wanted to, Yeah.
I had asked this question to someone that I follow. They do those Ask Me Anythings. I'm like, does it matter if I don't know? They're like, just track. That's the only thing that matters. Just track something.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to worry about it.
Maybe
it's given me a lot of accountability for what I'm actually eating versus what I think I'm eating.
Okay.
Some days I'm like, I'm having a fiber and I'm not. Or some days I'm so hungry and it's because I've not had enough protein.
Yeah.
So it's given me a level of accountability, which I kind of like.
So can I ask you something? This is just one example. After your party that you had a couple months ago, at the end of that night, you go to bed at like 2, 3 in the morning. When do you track? Probably
that night when we're all like recapping the evening.
Oh, okay. So you'll go on your phone and do it then. Has anybody ever been like, what are you doing? You're a screenager. You're always on your phone. Has anybody ever said that?
My husband's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm tracking my food. He goes, oh okay.
So you'll say that.
I'll say it. I'm just tracking my food.
Okay.
And we're both in the process of trying to get healthier. So I think he understands.
Okay. That's a good thing. Okay.
It's supposed to help with weight management.
There's research upon research that says it helps people who track lose more weight.
Okay, so this is where I think I'm having a problem. I think I'm probably not tracking 100 to 200 calories per day, which now that has put me into maintenance, which I think is where I am. The 200 calorie difference has put me into maintenance mode of the things that I'm not tracking. And I'm like, I'm under my calories, so then I can eat some more. So, I'm right there into maintenance.
Then just don't eat those other 200 calories.
Well, logically, and what you actually do.
Trust me, I know. I know.
But the data has given me that insight into, so if I really look at it, I'm supposed to be eating 1,400 something calories per day. The app says, okay? And if I really look at it, I'm probably at closer to 1600, which is maintenance mode for me. And it's such a little difference.
Cut out something.
Yeah. And that little bit of a difference can really make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can identify patterns, which I was just talking about, and triggers. It can improve nutritional understanding. So it helps me to understand how much of the macros I'm eating, but also, sugar and carbs and cholesterol. It also helps me with some of that. It's supposed to help you to identify food sensitivities or intolerances. Yes.
Yep. I think it's really beneficial for that.
Yeah. If you have migraines, like my husband gets migraines after eating cucumbers, that only came from trial and error.
Tracking his food. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't track, but yeah.
You tracked mentally for him. I know you did. Because I do that. When I notice anything in anybody in my family, I start paying attention to what they're eating, and I'm mentally tracking it.
Yes.
And then I'm like, and then I tell them what my thinking is, and they're like, okay, all right, doctor, all right. They don't listen.
But but you're right.
I know I'm right. I know I'm right. Yeah. Yes.
And it provides valuable insights into your relationship with food, building healthier habits. So the way I was thinking about this is, I remember when I was strictly tracking on numbers, like calories or points or whatever, and I would track a Reese's egg for dinner. That would be my dinner, because I met my numbers, but it's not nutritious. So it can definitely help you to figure out, am I just eating it just to eat it and counting this as dinner, or do I need something a little bit better? Like you were saying with the fiber, it was more carb-based fiber than vegetable-based fiber.
Yeah.
So
it's all very interesting and intriguing when you really look at it. And it's, in my opinion, tracking is a lot of mental work.
Yeah.
It's all it is. It doesn't take much time. If you're being honest, it doesn't take time. Oh. And now these apps are so easy now. Like sometimes you can just speak into them and say, look for, like there's a microphone feature. Like it's all up in your head. You got to get your head in the game in order to start tracking. Really.
Well, I want to say this, and I don't want it to be controversial, but I think sometimes people don't want to be honest with themselves. So if you don't track it, you didn't eat it.
Oh, well, that's for sure.
So
or it stops you from eating, and you don't want to stop eating.
Yeah. I agree. So I think that is a really big roadblock for a lot of people to track.
Also, though, here's where I'm going to yell. I'm going to get on a little soapbox, but it's only towards myself. Okay? I truly can't complain about my weight if I'm not doing every single thing to try and lose the weight. And that includes tracking.
Yeah.
For me, and I think for a lot of people, like tracking can't be the only thing you do, though. You have to have the fitness part in there, and you have to have the right nutrients in there. So I can't sit on this podcast or in life and bitch that I'm not losing weight if I'm not doing those things for it.
Right.
So if I want to lose weight, then guess what? Track, get my body moving, do the things.
Yeah. So let's talk about, how do you track and how a person should track?
So there's tons of different ways to track, and I did a lot of research on the tracking part of it. So this is one example. This one seems the most time-consuming one, and it's not for me, but it's mindful eating tracking. And what that means is you just write down what you ate. There's no numbers involved in this.
Okay.
You're writing down what you ate, why you ate it, how it made you feel, and like, were you hungry when you ate it?
Theoretically, I would love to do that. Realistically, it's not happening for me.
This is for emotional eaters big time.
Oh, okay.
This is one of those that if you can say that you're an emotional eater, this is really what we need to do to get to the bottom of the emotions, why you're eating, what's causing you to eating, and all of that. Some of us we all eat out of different reasons. But if you really, really think that you're an emotional eater, then this is the kind of tracking method for you. Because it really needs to address on why you're doing this. Right? So it's a good way. It seems like it's a ton of work, but isn't there like a saying, like things that are the most important take the most work or something like that? Something
saying. Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with this, though. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's another one. Photo journaling. So that would mean like taking a quick picture of every single thing you eat with your phone. It adds timestamps. which is good because you're also then noting the time. Then you can review visuals and patterns. And there's an app called See How You Eat. Have you heard of that one?
No.
And it like tracks your pattern. I haven't looked into this app at all, but it's one of those that you go into it, take your picture, and then it like tracks your patterns of eating with just a photo. That seems quick and easy. You could also set up a private Instagram and just track your food that way, which I thought was a good idea too. Because just then it's all listed out. I think seems super easy if you get in the habit of it.
Taking pictures of your food.
And I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to take a picture of my food and I forget.
Yeah.
So
too busy eating. I'm sorry.
I just did it yesterday. Like I spiralized zucchini and I took the picture of it before. And then after I ate it, I wanted to take it before I ate it. Like before I cooked it and then before I ate it, completely forgot. I'm like, dang it, there goes my post, there goes my idea, there goes everything. So great idea if you can remember to do it.
Yes.
Right? Okay, here's another one that was interesting. It's called color coding or plate mapping.
Oh, I've heard of plate mapping, but what's color coding?
Kind of same thing. It's where you assign a color to veggies, to protein, and carbs.
Okay.
And then you just color code when you eat veggies, when you eat protein, or when you eat carbs. Like a serving of each. So you do colors. Which could be fun. I wonder if you can
buy a plate like that.
I mean, I feel like there are some people whose brains work that way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, every time I eat vegetables, I'm going to put a green check mark. And every time I eat protein, I'm going to do a red. And then carbs, yellow. And then that's it. You just got 3 colored markers and you check, whatever you're doing. I can see some people's brains working that way.
Okay.
Or on a graph paper, like coloring in a little thing. I could see that. And that would visually, if you're a visual learner, that would make you look at it and go, wow, I really eat too many carbs.
Wow, interesting.
Right? I don't know. It encourages you to eat variety without looking at macronutrients.
I heard about this app, which then I went to look it up. I downloaded it. It's called Daily Dozen.
Oh.
So it gives you like these boxes of things you should be eating, like 3 beans, like 3 boxes of beans, 3 servings, I'm assuming, or water or fiber, or I'll pull it up so I can tell you exactly, because I was really curious. You know, you hear about these random things. I'm like, what is this actually tracking? It's called Daily Dozen, and it tracks like beans, berries, other fruits, cruciferous vegetables. It has 1 box for that. Greens, 2 boxes. Other vegetables, 2 boxes.
So wait, are you saying that each day you should... Look at that. Oh, so you're saying each day you should have that?
Yes, it's per day. So there's a calendar on it. You can see, because I was looking it up.
Is it set for vegan for you?
It's not set for anything.
I'm supposed to eat beans every day?
If you can tolerate them, yeah.
Oh my God.
But it could be a variety of things. I think this is based for a plant-based. I don't think it's vegan, but I think that I didn't do anything in terms of settings.
Because yours doesn't have meat, though, does it?
Nope, no meat. Nuts and seeds, flax seeds, herbs and spices, whole grains. So all of these things are exercise, water. All of these things are beneficial that we need. And so this is a different way to track. It's not like, it's the same thing what you were saying. No calories, no protein. It's just, did you eat all these things today? Oh, you did? Great. Right. You did good.
Okay. I like the thought of checking off things like that, though.
Yeah.
Like looking at it and going, I didn't have fruit today. Okay, then I want to eat something tonight. I need to do that. Or if that, I like that because I look at something and go, oh, I didn't have any protein today. Okay, at night I better have cottage cheese or, whatever else it is. Yeah. I like that. And what's that called?
Daily Dozen.
Is it free?
It's free.
Okay. Daily Dozen app. All right. All right, here's another one. A habit tracker app. So this is a way to track your habits.
Okay.
And so for example, you can just put behaviors on there, like drank water, ate breakfast, ate lunch, ate dinner. Had a snack, like tracking, and they also do many different types of habits that you're trying to instill, like going for a walk, brush your teeth, go to bed by time. Like, so there are habit trackers, and that's a way to track too. And that is like, if you're doing all of your healthy habits, then you're probably going to lose weight.
That makes so much sense to me. I like that a lot.
And if you're working on building a habit, this would be excellent. Habit trackers are good for encouraging behavior. There's one called Habitica. Have you heard of that one?
No.
And this one is like retro gaming. So as you do your habits, you get like points, and then like there's all kinds of
I love that.
Yeah, it's like a game, but it's all retro gaming. So it looks kind of like Atari / early Nintendo days.
I'm okay with that.
That one's free.
Is it KA or CA?
HABITICA. There's a habit tracker called Tick Tick. That one looked boring to me. And then there's a habit tracker for Notion, which is more like, I think that one was, God, now I can't remember. I looked that one up too, and I didn't like Notion as much as the Habitica, or Habit, well, however you say that. And Notion was more based for, by the way, they all had really great reviews. It was more along the lines of, I think it was like a ADD type person. Tracker. That's what the reviews said. I've had ADD for X, Y, and Z, and it's very helped me. It's for more organizational things than it is habits.
I like that.
Health habits. So yeah, all great. They were all free. They're just for your habit tracking. Okay, another one, which I don't know anything about this, so I'm going to go really quick over it, was location-based tracking. They say there's benefits in geocaching, geo-tracking, geotagging, however that is, every time you eat. Because then at the end of the week, you can say, oh my God, 800 times I ate at home, versus some people might be eating in their car or at a drive-thru or at work.
Yeah.
So it's a way to track where you're eating the most.
Right.
Now, I could see where that would be beneficial if you work full-time and you're home full-time. You could be like, well, I worked all day and I didn't eat at work, so I must binge eat when I get at home. Or vice versa. You eat all day at work.
Yeah. I could see that would give you good information, but I don't know. That's not for me.
No, not for me either, but it could be for some.
Oh, sure.
Mood or energy link tracking. So this is where you're tracking your mood after you eat and before you eat. Like, am I energized after I ate? Or am I sluggish after I ate? And you can use a voice memo called Bearable or Dailyo. Those are two voice memo apps where you can just put in there, feeling sluggish, just ate this. Feeling energized, just had a diet, whatever. I don't know. Diet Dr. Pepper, whatever. It's all right. It's not for me either. I'm not into that. I love this. Meal rotation tracker.
Okay, I need to hear about this one.
So you make a list of like 10 breakfasts, 10 lunches, 10 dinners. You just rotate them out. So you go, all right, this week is there's 5 days this week, 7 days. I'm going to have every day this week for breakfast. I'm going to have, or 3 days, 4 days, whatever you do. You're going to say, all right, one of my breakfasts is granola, berries, and yogurt. Then another one is cottage cheese with fruit. So you have 10, 10, and 10, and you just rotate them all out.
That's genius, because we rotate the same meals out anyway.
You rotate and check off the meals to ensure that you're not getting in a rut. It's to save you money at the grocery store, because you say, okay, this week I am buying this and I am eating this.
Yes.
So, and then it helps with meal planning and avoiding decision fatigue.
Yeah.
Like this morning I woke up and I was like, what do I want for breakfast? I still don't know what I want for breakfast. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I knew, like, well, this week I'm eating this for breakfast.
Yeah. And you can always swap it out. Like, today you feel like this and not that. Or
have a leftovers or throw something else in there. But I love that one. I love it. I'm thinking of starting just with breakfast, like coming up with 10 solid breakfasts.
I love that idea.
You know?
You'll have to share it with me, what you decide to eat.
And even if you did like 2 things each week and alternated, like I have a avocado toast and then tomorrow's yogurt and then avocado toast and then tomorrow's yogurt. Like if you have 10 things, you could really do 2 a week and you still won't get in that rut. Anyway,
absolutely.
That's just a thought. So I did that one. I talked about voice memos. And the last one was the intuitive eating, which is, I think it's like a trademark from Intuitive Eating, the company that does that. It's the traffic light. And they do have an app. I don't know what that's called, but it's when you eat red light, green light, and yellow light foods. Red light is foods that make you feel like crap and make you stress ate them, like crap food, basically. Like, let's just say Doritos. Yellow is food that's neutral, like it's not necessarily bad and or good. And then the green light are those nourishing foods. So that's like 10 different ways to track that are not your typical apps.
Yes, which I like, because it's not just all about the macros, you know?
Right. There's so much more.
There's an app that somebody told me about, and I was really curious because I love data. I told you. It's called Cal AI, and there is a charge for this, but it's not expensive at all for the yearly subscription. You take a picture of your plate, and it tells you what you're eating, and it tells you how many calories and how much blah blah blah. I couldn't do it because you have to pay for it, and I already have an app, so I didn't want to pay double. It just looked so simple.
I wonder how okay, so obviously your plate is totally different than what my dinner plate would be. I wonder if it takes into account like specific ethnic foods versus a plate of Doritos.
I don't know, but the person who told me was Indian, so I'm like, okay, maybe this is something that could work for me. but it was I think it's like $20 a year.
Do you think it even
lot.
knows how much? Like, if I have 17 Doritos on a plate, do you think it was like, oh, that's 1.5 servings? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know exactly how it tracks because I couldn't use it, but I think it does tell you like a portion or more than a portion, or something about it. I thought it was really, I'm so curious how it works. I'm so curious.
I know, I might have to do it.
If I could take a picture and just track that way, great.
Oh my God, I want to check into this. All right. What other apps did you find?
Obviously, the ones we all know about, MyFitnessPal and Chronometer, both are free. I don't find either one of them easy to use. I would not recommend them.
I did not like MyFitnessPal, and I used it for a good solid 6 months, and I did not like it.
I did not like it either. I found it very clunky. I think My Plate is what you were talking about. That portion out your plate, that's free. And then there's something called... the one we both use is Lose It, and then Noom has their own tracker.
Oh, Noom does.
Noom I think is the one that focuses on intuitive eating.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's always
it does.
There's always the old-fashioned pen and paper. You know, there's someone that you turned me on to in terms of podcasts, Corinne Crabtree, and her big thing is just plan what you're going to eat in the day. And she doesn't advocate for tracking or anything. She's just like, plan out what you're going to eat. If you're having a treat, plan that into your day. If you're, just write it down. To me, that kind of makes sense. Like, if you know what you're going to eat, it's the same thing.
Method. I think she calls it the doable hunger method. I've done that method before, and it works great. It does.
Yeah.
It really works good. This is the only con I have for it. You do have to sit down and spend 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and go, what am I going to eat today?
Yeah.
And it's not real. I mean, we all know what we're going to have, basically. Like, I know what food's in my house.
Right.
You know? And the only thing with that is, like, if we do get to the end of the day and I don't feel like cooking, what then? My plan is ruined. But you have to really look at it and go, no, it's not. Because I could put at that as a this or this.
Right.
You know? So you're still planning it.
Yeah, and I think that's
really,
the key, because when you're hungry, you don't want to have to think about what you want to eat.
Also, if we're all, again, being honest with ourselves, we have more excuses than anybody in the whole world when it comes to this stuff. If you want to track, if you don't want to track, you have an excuse no matter what. And they all could be.
Very true.
They're not facts. They're just excuses.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That's like me with my green juices. They're all excuses.
Yeah,
if I wanted to do it, I would have done it.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think that this was one of those episodes where it's like making me think, like, oh no, do I need to start tracking again?
There is something before we end. I do want to talk about the cons of tracking, because I think there are people who shouldn't track.
Okay.
If you've had disordered eating at all, this may not be for you. But I think some of the apps that you mentioned might be a better way to go in terms of, you know, like habits or relationships in terms of how you feel with the food. Those are all good for people who maybe have had some kind of disordered eating, or then if you get obsessed with the numbers, that's not a good place to be, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I think
you can't get obsessed, right?
You can't get obsessed. It becomes tedious to track. Sometimes you don't have time. Sometimes you don't know where, what, how. It does become tedious. Sometimes what we talked about is if you're not tracking accurately, it can hurt you rather than help you.
This is true too. Because you're like, oh, I only ate 600 calories today. Oh, I forgot about the ice cream. That was 800. Yeah.
Yeah. You can be disconnected from intuitive eating. So you know you want to eat some food, but maybe you don't have it, and you're like, I only have 300 calories left, so I'm eating a popsicle.
Yeah.
That can disconnect you from eating the right way for your body. It tends to focus more on the numbers than fullness. These are all kind of the same point.
I mean, those are all true. Like, yeah, if you're looking at it and you're going, God, I ate 800 calories a meal, but I'm still hungry. Yeah.
Yeah. And it can create shameful feelings upon overeating, and it reduces food to numbers, which I think that can be a big hazard if you're not thinking about, I want to eat protein. What are my options for protein? Instead of, I just ate this piece of cake. Now I feel sick. It's so awful. And that creates a whole landslide of emotional negative feelings about yourself.
Yeah. I thought of another downside, and maybe it goes along with everything you said, and it brings me back to what happened, I think, a lot back a couple years ago when I stopped tracking. Be careful who you track around and what you say and mutter under
Oh,
your breath. Because I have two teenagers, and I
okay.
remember tracking and going, oh my God, that's so many calories. And then not long after, my son was constantly like, how many calories are in this? How many calories are this? And it
Oh,
wasn't that I was saying good or bad food, but I think in my way of saying, oh my God, that's a lot of calories in this salad dressing.
right.
They're hearing you. So, and that goes for
Yes.
if you have grandkids too, or nieces or nephews, and you're pulling
Yes.
out your app and you're scanning something and you go, oh my God, like they're all listening to you.
Yeah,
And
very
even though you
true.
didn't call it bad, and I'm not saying that that is any bearing on any of my either of my kids and their what they think of good or bad food, but I do remember my son not then being very aware of it.
Well, and
That
as
makes
a
sense?
person raising teenagers or even younger children, you want to be more mindful of that because it impacts the way they think. And we don't
Mm-hmm.
even realize some of the things we're doing for our betterment are
Right.
hurting them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good point.
So just think about that too.
Yeah, and you have to do what's right for you. But I think tracking can help you to know what's what and know what you're doing.
And it tells you, woo, back off, Leah. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of does though.
Well,
So
I don't know. I think it could just help you if you use it in the right way. And it
yeah.
may not be for you, but like you said, give us so many options that are not macro related.
Right.
So those are all good ideas for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perfect. What's your call to action?
I knew you were going to ask me this.
Do you have one or not?
I do have one. I think I'm going to, for this week, and I'm going to again be out of town, so I'm going to try my best. I'm going
Okay.
to do as accurate tracking as possible.
Okay.
I'm not going to put undue pressure on myself, but I really want to see, does that make a difference for me? Because I think those couple hundred calories are hurting me more than helping me. And
Okay.
if there are a couple hundred calories extra, I want to make sure that they're good quality things rather than junk.
Good point. Good point. Okay.
And you?
Mine is I'm in a challenge with my mom and my sister,
Oh,
and we're in the middle of it, and it's going until my birthday. I realize I need end dates. I
yes.
need like my and I'm already like, okay, the next challenge will end on Labor Day. Like I just need a specific date too. Like
Sure.
it can't just be the 15th. It has to be that. So we're ending it on my birthday, and we have to each do we're copying you but tweaking it.
Okay.
We're each doing 10 minutes of three things. It's our trifecta, copying
Oh,
Dana.
nice.
So we each have a trifecta, we each have a chart, and if we don't do one of our trifectas, we have to pay $1
Okay.
for each one. So that could be potentially $3 a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right?
Yours is way more than me.
So
Ours was
$3
$5
a
a week.
day. $3 a day we might have to spend.
Oh,
But two things. One, I'm only giving it to my mom and my sister, so if I'm not doing it, I'm
yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
well, Michelle could go buy ice cream or coffee or whatever, or my mom.
Yeah.
And we're not doing each, so we're just gonna divide it in, like divide the pot, whatever I owe. Am I
Right.
making sense how I'm explaining this?
You're keeping track of the days you
Mm-hmm.
haven't done it. So you have a
Mm-hmm.
tally of how many dollars you owe, and then you will all decide the math of
So let's
who
say
needs to pay.
on the 29th of this month, I have 7 times I didn't do something. I give my mom 350 and I give my sister 350. And no matter what, we're each doing that because we feel like the visual of actually giving somebody money
Yeah.
sucks more than anything
Yes.
else. So we're not going to be like, no, you owe me 350 and you owe me 350. We'll only owe 50 cents. No, I'm doing my amount, dividing it up and handing it to them.
What's on your trifecta, can I ask?
Yes, 10-minute abs,
Uh-huh.
10-minute arms, and any
Okay.
type of walk or exercise.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like this a
So
lot.
it should be 30 minutes a day combined. And my sister is very smart, even though she's younger than me. She's very smart. And she told me, get the thing you hate the most done immediately when you wake up.
Yeah.
So I immediately
That is smart.
start my coffee, lay on the floor, and do abs because I hate it.
Okay. I like
And
it.
I don't feel good afterwards. I hate every
Oh.
minute of it. Because everybody's
That's
like,
okay,
oh, you
you're
feel
getting it
good
done.
when it's done. No, I don't. I hate it.
I don't know if I've talked about it, but the challenge that I'm doing with my group of friends is we're doing 45 minutes of exercise or 10,000 steps a day for 5 days out of the week. So you get 2 days of a break if you're traveling
Mm-hmm.
or doing something else or just when you need a break. And if you don't complete it, you have to pay $5 per week to a pot. So you pay it to the pot, and then when we're done, then we use that money for our group, like an activity or something.
And maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll put it all in a pot. That might be more fun.
Then you can go do something with that money.
That's what I'll suggest. That's a good tweak to it.
It's really what motivates you. If you need to see the money going back and forth, that's what you should do.
But I will still need to see the money go in a pot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's your call to action, is to do the trifecta.
I don't want to miss any of it. I'm on a roll. I'm on day 4. I'm on a roll.
Excellent.
So, all right.
I like it. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, have a good week.
Bye.